Hey yogis, welcome back to my channel. I am Kelsey Yogi here on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok, and we are doing yoga all day, every day. So make sure you are checking in on all those social media platforms, that way you don't miss anything. But today we are working on a forward fold. So it doesn't matter if you're standing or if you're seated, we all want to get down there to our toes. And I'm telling you, for some of us, it's a really long journey there. I'm thinking runners, power lifters, your legs are so strong that sometimes it's really hard to lengthen them. And without finding that length and only having the strength, you're a little bit more prone to injuries. So we've got to stretch it out. And on the other hand, exactly, it's really hard to stretch them out if you haven't warmed them up first. So I like to do like heel raises, some bridge lifts. So with the heel raises, or toe raises, whatever you want to call them, we just rise up onto our toes. So you really bring a lot of blood flow into the ankles, also into the calves. So if I'm really going to be working some deep forward folds, I definitely like to do toe raises first. Another nice one to do, like I mentioned, are those glute bridges. So heels just outside of the sit bones, shoulder blades underneath you, and just lifting those hips, getting the quads nice and active, engaged. Glutes are strong and engaged because we really want those hamstrings especially to open and lengthen. Now I'm sure a lot of you have heard of a yoga butt or a yoga butt injury, and really what has happened, it's nothing that's happened to your butt, but you've gotten yourself a little hamstring tear right where the hamstring attaches to the booty. So that happens, it's super common in yoga because we do so many forward folds. So you definitely have to make sure those muscles are warmed up, lots of blood going to them before we ask them to really lengthen super long. So a couple of props that have helped me along the way while working for a deeper forward fold is a block, and it's also a strap. You don't need a fancy strap. You could use a belt or a tie. Those were rope. You could use anything that helps you grab around those feet and pull yourself in. So once your legs are really warmed up, start with your strap. Flex your toes back towards your face. In a lot of sports, they point the toes, and that's cool, but in yoga, a lot of times we flex the toes back. So let's start with using the strap to help us get some length. Wrap your strap, your tie, your belt around the arches or the balls of the feet. Keep those toes flexing back towards the face, and even if you're way up here, don't even worry about it. That is perfect. Here, let me face the other way, so that my face isn't glowingly white from that sunshine. I am not gonna be unhappy about that because here in Michigan we don't get enough. But so, all right, we have the strap wrapped around the balls of the feet, toes flexed back so that the legs are engaged and active, not a passive stretch. And even if you're way up here with a straight spine, reaching with your heart, using the strength of your upper body, pull yourself in. And here's one of the biggest tricks for deepening your forward fold. Activate your quads. So you have to lengthen the back sides of your legs, you gotta engage the front side. If it's hard for you to engage your quadriceps, girl, guy, you got some squats ahead of you, you got some chair pose, those glute bridges, we gotta get those quads nice and strong because we want them to help us strengthen the front and so we can lengthen the back. Now once you have those front sides of the legs really active, then you can start pulling your low belly in, kind of hollowing out your low belly. Doesn't have to be this huge suck in, but just activate the abs as you pull yourself in deeper. And once you hit that place of resistance, you pause and you breathe. Soften your shoulders away from your ears. Keep the quads engaged. They're not going to want to stay engaged, so keep checking in. As long as you are lengthening the back, you gotta keep the quads active. So if they start to relax for a minute, come on, lift them back up. Draw those kneecaps up towards the hips, keep them there. And then keep using that upper body to pull yourself in. Every inhale we lengthen, every exhale we deepen. Keep the abs working too. So as we fold, reaching with the chest, think about compression. Compression between the tops of the upper thighs and the low belly. I'm using the strength of my core, my hip flexors, the quads to really compress and fold myself in. I am not just saying, oh, hamstrings, lengthen for days. This is all about you. This is also a strength posture. So I'm asking the front side of the body to compress and to get really strong and active here. All right, so now I'm in here. Low belly sucks in, abs activate, quads are super strong and the hamstrings can start to relax and lengthen a little bit more every breath. Try not to rush it. So since I used to be a runner, I was a runner for a long time on a cross country and track team in high school, a little bit in college, and you just don't stay long enough. It's uncomfortable, you hate it, you're like, I want to get out of here as soon as possible. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and done, next posture. But you have to just settle in and breathe. Set a timer, you know? Get yourself a minute-long timer and just hang out. If it's super, super uncomfortable for you, maybe even put a block under your glutes to get you a little bit of length. If you can't even get the legs straight at all, maybe get up on that block. You know, tiny bend in the knees if you need to, or keeping them really straight and just staying up higher. And just settle in and hang out. There is no rush. It's not always going to be comfortable, and that's okay. As you get in deeper and deeper, you're gonna be able to get rid of your strap. You're not gonna need that forever. Props are amazing, but they're really only useful for a certain period of time, and we wanna get to the point where we don't use them forever. So once you can grab your toes, the sides of your feet by yourselves, ditch your strap and start using just the strength of your body. That way, you know, when you travel or you're out of town and you're like, oh, I don't have my strap with me. No excuses, you can still practice. You don't need your strap, you don't need your block. You can practice all on your own with just your body. Floor, you don't need anything. So when you can grab the sides of your feet, same idea. Inhale, lengthen, low belly pulls in, quads are active. Exhale, fold. And you just stay. Except for the fact that every inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. And a lot of this work is not coming from my arms, it's coming from my quads, my hip flexors, and my abs. That's what's pulling me in here. I don't even need to have my upper body. So I get to the point where I can even reach past my feet and maybe grab a bind, left hand grabbing the right wrist. Keep that low belly sucking in, keep reaching with the chest, fold. And then soften your shoulders away from your ears, relax your jaw, soften your tongue, and just hang out. Now, if this gets to the point where it's too easy for you and you're like, I am here for days and it's not doing anything, then you can get your block back out, because now you can use your block to extend even further past your feet. So there's all these different lengths of your yoga block, making it wider and wider and wider. So just, you know, beginning with the shortest amount, grabbing the sides of your block, and then pulling yourself in. When you're like, okay, that's too easy, then we lengthen it a little more, and we lengthen it a little bit more still. So blocks can be useful if you can't bend your legs at all to get you a little bit of height, and they can also be really useful to help you get in even deeper, because we're always looking to keep going further, to keep advancing in our practice, because we want to explore every bit of depth that we can. Why not get to know your body, know what it's capable of. We only get this one bit of time with this body. Let's use it to the best of our abilities. So if you take anything away from this video, I would take away, start with props. If you have a very hard time, sit up on the block, use your strap. And then after that, I want you to think about strong, active quads. You gotta get those legs active and warmed up, get the blood flowing to your legs, and then use the strength of the front side so that you can open up the back side. Lift those kneecaps up, you guys. Keep the toes flexed back towards the face. We do this so that the whole leg stays engaged and we don't get that yoga belt where we tear at the top of the hamstring, because the entire leg is active, and that's what we're looking for. As the low belly pulls in, abs get active, and we find that compression as the top of the thighs, the abs pull towards each other. We get that strength. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, deepen, and then just keep exploring from there. So use your block, use it while you're standing, maybe even stand up against the wall so that your butt's to the wall, you're facing away, and just keep exploring these deeper spaces, because why not? Why not use this body to the best of its ability? I hope you got 1 or 2 really good tips out of this that makes a difference for your forward fold. Oh, don't forget, stay there, breathe, don't rush out of it. Take your time, explore these spaces. You guys have an amazing day. Take care. Make sure that you follow me on all my social media, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, of course, subscribe. You guys have a great day. Take care. Namaste.